Welcome to Homeschool Connections Physical Science class. Today is our first day of class, and we're going to start right out with Unit 1, Introduction to Matter. This unit has 4 chapters, and at the end of this unit, we will have our first test. Oh, here I am, first day of class, already talking about tests. Don't worry, that's a long ways off. Today, we're going to start exploring this whole world of physical science. And in this chapter, we're going to talk about what is physical science? Why is it important? How do we do it? Why do we do it? And kind of the tools of the trade. We're going to start this video with section 1, exploring physical science. What is it and why is it important to you? Before we can talk about what physical science is, we need to know what science is. And we might think of a mad scientist concocting a thing that goes kaboom in the night. Or we might think of life science and biology, human life, plants, animals. We could also think of engineers designing new materials for our future. Science is a very broad category, but we can define that category as the process of gathering knowledge about the natural world, that world that God created for us. We're studying His handiwork. Physical science is one category, one subsection of the broad category of science. In physical science, we are going to study non-living things. It's mainly concerned with matter and energy. Matter is the stuff that everything is made of. We've got solids, liquids, gases. This is the stuff that we can feel or see or touch. It concerns itself also with energy. We define energy as the ability to do work. We can get energy in lots of different forms. We can get it in heat, light, sound, electricity. You guys have probably ate a breakfast this morning, and that food has provided you with energy to study. We will find in this class that matter and energy are very closely related. America, in my previous example, you ate food, that's matter, to get energy. And that is what we're going to be studying in this class. And we will find that even though we are studying non-living things, that everything in physical science also applies to life science. And so many of our examples will come from life science. In physical science, we've got 2 main branches that we study, chemistry and physics. You guys probably think of those as high school or college classes. And yes, you'll take them separate then. But in this class, we are going to get an introduction to both branches of science. In chemistry, we tend to study matter, those things we can see, touch, feel. Matter has properties. In the last slide, I mentioned solid, liquid, or gas. That's some properties of matter. And we study how they interact, combine, they change. We work with the elements. You've heard of them, some of them before at least: hydrogen, oxygen, neon, carbon, fluorine. You may have heard things like nickel, copper, chromium, silver, gold, maybe even uranium or plutonium or radon. There's 118 different elements that we know of already, and that's what the chemists work with. Physicists, on the other side, are much more interested in energy and forces and how those affect matter. Well, right there, we've got that overlap between chemistry and physics. Notice I didn't put a solid line between them, I put a dotted line. Okay? Physicists study motion, forces, gravity, electricity, magnetism, light, heat, all different kinds of things. Okay, but the two are closely related. There's a lot of overlap. You'll find when you're in high school, when you take my chemistry class, sometimes you're really going to feel like you're sitting in a physics class. Sometimes you'll feel like you're sitting in a biology class. You might even feel like you're sitting in an English or history class too. It's because it is all interrelated. All the sciences are interrelated. And so by studying one, you learn something about all of them. Well, you might be thinking this is all well and good. Matter, energy, yeah, da, 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 da. I got other things to do. But I'm going to tell you that this physical science is really important. It's important to you in your everyday life. If your parents were to get in a car accident and the police officers came, they could reconstruct that accident using the laws of physics to tell exactly what happened and who was at fault. Engineers are using physical science to design cars of the future that drive themselves. We've already got those cool ones that can back into spots by themselves. We all like to eat. Agriculture, the growing of food, the animal husbandry, taking care of those animals and those crops to provide us our nutrition, the packaging and preserving of those, all physical science. And cooking is chemistry. If you can cook, you can do chemistry. If you can do chemistry, you can cook. It's physical science. We all like to know what kind of weather we're expecting. Are we going to get a bad storm the next day, or is it going to be a beautiful day? Perfect one to go to the beach. We'll watch the news. The weather reporter will use physical science to determine what the weather is likely to be the next day. We use it to treat, diagnose diseases. An X-ray machine is an easy one. That's physical science. All the drugs that are developed use science and physics. We get it in our lighting, music, acoustics, developing energy efficient appliances, alternative energy sources. Every place you look around you, physical science is at work. Even if you have to wash dishes, how that soap interacts with the greases and the dirt and leftover food particles on your plates and pans and that, how it cleans that off and sanitizes them. No matter where you look, you're going to find physical science. That is the end of Chapter 1, Section 1. We'll see you next time when we discuss Chapter 1, Section 2, the scientific method. Until then, God bless.